witchcraft is real, people. Witchcraft is there. Emhlabeni. And witchcraft, many people think witchcraft is only flying at night. No, there are so many different working categories when it comes to that, you know. Yeah, there are so many categories when it comes to that. So witchcraft of wait, I don't know, but this one is a heavy issue. Witchcraft, it's a tough one. But then again, we live in a society whereby witchcraft forms part of us, like on a daily basis, and there's nothing we can do about that. We can escape it, you know. So we can't escape it. So now, back in my high school days, I never actually believed that witchcraft exists, like for real. So back in my high school days, remember there are different categories when it comes to witchcraft. There is like witchcraft whereby people use whatever they want to use to stop others from making it, number one. And then there is witchcraft which people use to enrich their lives, that is making themselves rich, you know. So there are so many different categories when it comes to that. So back in the days, I never believed that witchcraft exists for real until I've went through something, you know. So what happened was that it was back in 2011. Back in 2011, so I was actually 2011. That was the time that I was still staying in a shack, you know. I was staying with my mom and my dad in that small shack. 2011. So what happened was, I was doing my grade 11. That was in 2011, right? I remember we went to visit a family, a relative. Yeah, some relative around. That was around 7. So we went there, and then we came back, and then I did my homeworks and all that. I used to be a smart kid when it comes to school. I used to be a smart kid, always on point, like all the time, right? So I did my homeworks, and then yeah, so it was time to sleep, you know. And so now the shack was actually divided, like with a curtain, you know. That was like my mother's room. Then the center was where we cook. What you call prama stove, hot plate. Yeah, we were using like hot plate, né, at that time to cook. So then there was my room. So yeah, so every night before I sleep, I do my things. You know, if you know me, you know what I do before I sleep. If you know me, if you've been following me for some time, I do my things, and then after I sleep, it's fine. Then I wake up in the morning, and I bath, preparing to go to school, you know, because I had bigger dreams, that I want to be a somebody in life, you know. I want to be a somebody in life. So after bathing, because Naraberikisa skotrolo, like we're using like a bathing tab, like a small one. I had my own, my mom, my dad had their own. That was before we even, at that time, I didn't even know what's a shower, by the way. 2011, I've never used a shower in my life. I've never seen a toilet inside a house, you know. So I bathed. So when I was done bathing, I've worn my trouser, right? I was shirtless, like I was half naked in a way. I've worn my trouser, and then I went to my mom's room because that is where there was like a mirror. Because at that time there was a girl that I was eyeing back in school. So I used to make sure that before I leave for school, everything is always on point, you know, like my looks and all that. Yeah. So now, when I was busy doing my hair, I'm wearing a trouser only. Then my mother notices something like with me, right? My mom notices something, and then she asks me, "Gore, what happened here?" So what was happening was that at my back, like my back, mokokotlo, my back initially, I had scratches, like literally scratches, you know. So my mom started shouting at me that why am I fighting in school? You know, why am I fighting in school? She didn't raise me that way and all that. So I'm like, no, mom, I was not fighting. I've never fought anybody in my life. I don't remember fighting. I've never hit a woman. I've never hit a guy. I've never been beaten before, like for as long as I remember. So I had scratches, like literally scratches. Now I told her that no, I did not fight with anybody. And then she didn't believe me, right? So she went to work and I went to school. And then when we came back, when I came back from school and she came back from work, she told my dad about it. That no, Hopoto was fighting at school. They beat him up. He has scratches. Then she said I must show my dad, and I showed him, and then I told him the same thing that no, I've never fought with anybody. I don't know where these things come from, right? So now what happened with everything is that I slept fine. I slept fine, and when I woke up, like when I woke up initially, um I had scratches all over my back. Like I had scratches all over my back, right? So every weekend I used to go to my grandmother's house. So I used to go to my grandmother's house because my parents' place was at some other kasi, you know. So I used to visit my grandmother. So I went to my grandmother and then I told her that, Granny, I have a problem. This is what happened. I slept fine. I never fought with anybody. I don't remember feeling any pain, but when I woke up, I just found myself having scratches like at my back, you know. And then she said, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And then she said, "Okay, don't worry, it will be fine." So now, after a day or two, my mom calls me in her room, and then she says, "No, I'm sorry about the other day. I was actually wrong. I believe that you didn't fight with anybody." And I'm like, "Why do you say so?" Then she says, "No, my mom told me what could have happened." And I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" That was my mom saying that. And then she says that actually what happened to you was that when you were sleeping at night, you were taken spiritually, right? By who we don't know, but you were taken spiritually, and you were probably beaten wherever you were taken. Like they were literally beating you. That's why you slept fine and then you woke up with scratches like at your back as if you were beaten. And I was scared at that time. I'm like, I was beaten by who? Because I never felt any pain, honestly. Even after when my mom says these scratches they look painful, I never felt any pain, actually. I never felt anything wrong. And I was like, I was beaten. Eh. And then she said, no, go ask your grandmother more about it. And then I asked Granny. And then the next weekend, and then she explained that, no, man, man, my son, these things happen. Normally, when they beat you up, there are two things. When they beat you up, number one, it's either they've seen your future is bright and they can't stop it. They've seen your future is bright and they can't stop it. That's number one. Number two, it's either you don't listen. And I'm like, okay, I see the one which says my future is bright. They're just beating me for control. I understand. why they are beating me with that one. But now the one that I'm stubborn, how was I stubborn? Because I don't remember anything. She says, no, what these guys do is that they take you, then they send you to do their things, They send you to do their things late at night. And then if you're stubborn, they're going to beat you up. They're going to fucking beat you up. You're going to wake up with bruises, scratches, but you didn't fight with anybody. You slept fine. They're going to beat you up. So it means that you, my son, you were stubborn. You were not listening to them. And I was confused because I don't remember anything. I mean, how am I stubborn? How did I refuse to listen to these guys while I don't even remember anything, So now it turns out that when we are sleeping, there are people who are working overtime, people who are working overtime, taking us at night. But this, don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared. These things happen mostly in Limpopo province. So if you're not in Limpopo, you're in Gauteng, other provinces and all that, you can relax. Don't worry. Nothing's going to happen to you. So these things used to happen in Limpopo. They actually happen in Limpopo. That's like, that's what they do best, unfortunately. So yeah. So that's what happened. So these guys, they take us at night, then they send us to do these different things. And then when you wake up tired. Like you wake up tired. You just wake up tired sometimes. You slept fine, but you woke up tired. It means that they were using you, So we used to go through that. I'm back in the years, right? So now, coming to think of my journey as a human being, I've actually been through a lot, I've actually been through a lot. I've survived so many witchcraft incidents, like so many witchcraft incidents, coming to think of it. And even today, I still can't explain some of the things that were happening. They don't make sense, but we just keep on praying. So now, apparently, these guys, when you're sleeping, let's say you're in Limpopo, they take you at night. They can take you to Cape Town, same night, in and out Cape Town. Then when you're in Cape Town, there are farms there. Then you're gonna be doing that again. You're gonna be cultivating. Is it cultivating? Yeah, whatever it is. You're gonna be cultivating their farms. If they wanna send you to America, they will send you to America to deliver the Jojo tanks that they will be putting on your back, but you just listen, you just do as they want you to do. So now I think, coming to think of it now, Africans have a huge talent. Honestly, Africans have a huge talent. It's just that we are using it to hurt others instead of bettering our lives. Because hey, kunzima guys, rough. So now, if you are going through a similar thing at the moment, I've been there before. I want you to pray as much as you can. The devil has no power at the end of the day, as long as God is present. And some of you guys think this is a joke. It's gonna sound like a joke until you sleep fine and you wake up with scratches on your neck, on your back. That's when you'll feel that shit. It's real. And the sad part about it is that you can't see anything. You can't see anything. You can't see it coming. You cannot see it coming. You're just gonna. So it's like that. So after that, life continued. I kept on praying. Then I was fine. I don't remember anything bad.